Hello, my IBDP students. I'm Dr. Sukanya, back once again to solve many questions of yours when it comes to the new curriculum of mathematics for the IBDP class of 2021. Here we go. Before we delve deep into the concepts and content, let me make you understand what was the purpose behind the change. Why do you think all of a sudden IB thought of such a kind of transformation? Well, the first pointer is to widen the career opportunities for you who have exceptional abilities and talents and specific needs to take up math. The second pointer is to open up university doors for students who aspire to do transdisciplinary courses. Third point, to integrate math and technology. What does the change involve? It involves two new courses, Math AA, which is analysis and approaches, and Math AI, which is applications and interpretations. Both the courses are dealt with the two levels, HL and SL. So wherein lies the difference? The way AA and AI are handled in math with respect to their approaches, analysis, and interpretations is wherein lies the difference. Well, now let's dive deep into the approaches. Let's understand the focus area, what it deals with, the aims and objectives, and for whom it is meant. Coming to the first pointer, the focus area. When it is AA, the emphasis is, of course, on your algebraic methods. When it is AI, the emphasis is on modeling and statistics. Well, what does it deal with? AA deals with mathematical problems and exploring real and abstract applications, whereas AI deals with solving real mathematical problems with the use of technology. What are the aims and objectives? For AA, it is to develop strong skill set in you in mathematical thinking, whereas for AI, it is to develop strong skills in applying practical mathematical problems to the real world. For whom it is meant? AA is meant for students who are interested in mathematics, engineering, physical sciences, and economics, whereas AI is meant for students who are interested in social sciences, natural sciences, medicine, statistics, business, engineering to some extent, economics, psychology, and design thinking. Well, now let's understand what are the topics covered in each course. Are they the same? Yes, they are. There are 5 topics which are uniformly covered for both the courses, which are number and algebra, functions, geometry and trigonometry, statistics and probability, and calculus. So now, which students opt for which particular course and in which level? So Math AA, when it comes to SL, is opted by students who are moderate in math and inclined to take up math application-based courses like economics, sciences for their undergrad levels. Whereas Math AAHL is opted by students who are extraordinary in math and tend to take up undergrad courses more reliant on math, like engineering or a math honors. When it comes to Math AISL, it is meant for students who are moderate in math once again and inclined to pursue an undergrad career involving math and technology, whereas Math AIHL is meant for students who are very adept in math and inclined to pursue an undergrad career involving math and technology. Well, now let's look at the graph. It will make you understand wherein lies the difference between the courses with respect to the topics covered, where I have clearly mentioned that the topics, all 5 topics are uniform. So wherein lies the difference is with respect to the varying emphasis on the time dedicated to each and every topic in SL and HL for both the courses. When you look at the graph very intricately, I think it's very easy to understand. Well, let's come to the course structure now. For Math AASL, the number of instruction hours would be 150, whereas for HL it is 240. So the additional 90 hours in HL comes for a 30 hours of toolkit and exploration and a 60 hours of common SL core content. Same applies for your AI. So in the gist, we can say that the SL courses are a complete subset of the HL courses. Well, let's look at this. Um, Let us concentrate on some of the key areas of focus in the HLs, both for your AA and AI. When it concerns your AAHL, the key areas of focus would be complex numbers, differentiation, statistical approaches towards math, and so on. When it comes to AIHL, the key areas of focus would be your distribution, where I can talk of the chi-square distribution, and then it would be differentiation, of course, and then statistical approaches. I would say more than approaches, statistical applications towards mathematics with the integration of technology, of course. Well, many students have asked this question, are there any recommended device? Yes, there is a recommended device, which is a graphical display calculator, and the specifications are as mentioned below. Well, when you are going through this process of learning and preparing yourself for an assessment, I would say you should be very, very particular about following this three-part plan. The first talks about your student-centric approach, wherein your mentors would be preparing an IEP for you, that is an individualized education planner for you, and with their aims and objectives very clearly mentioned. And they would suggest tips to optimize and strike balance between academics, global awareness, and your areas of interest. Well, when it comes to the courses, I have specifically mentioned that the topics remain the same. So essentially, they are the same. So life is pretty easy for you, I would say, compared to what it was before, because now you don't have the extra challenges of taking up optional topics like discrete numbers and some other overwhelming terms. So when you are preparing yourself for an assessment, just go through the previous 5 years question paper, and I think that should be fairly good for you to score a 6 or a 7 grade point. Well, let us come to the assessment parameters, and where the parameters are very well integrated with your IB learner profile. So please understand the first pointer talks about nurturing the thirst of knowledge and understanding in you. The second pointer inculcates the art of problem solving in abstract and real world. The third pointer is instill the art of communication and interpretation in you, wherein you're going to use subject-specific tools and techniques like mathematical diagrams, graphs, or constructions, and you're going to use technology, record methods, solutions and conclusions using standardized notation, and so on. Of course, you're going to equip yourself with the optimum use of technology and inculcate the art of reasoning and metacognition, where metacognition talks about the art of knowing how you know. So that's the theory of constructivism, which you jolly well apply in your TOK. And as we already know that mathematics happens to be one of the strongest AOKs in your TOK. The next pointer is make you inquirers who would be continuously exploring unfamiliar, real and abstract situations, organize, analyze, critic, frame hypotheses, and draw conclusions by testing their validity. This is a very, very important point for you to understand how you're climbing up the learning ladder. So when you're climbing up the learning ladder, you climb up in a sequential order. You start with the base as acquiring, I would say more than acquiring, constructing your knowledge through your senses, perception, memory, imagination, sharing, and so on, which are the different ways of constructing your knowledge. Then you would recognize, you comprehend, you understand your concepts. You move on to the next ladder by assimilating, imbibing, evaluating. your concepts, and then finally, when you apply your concepts in the real world, what you need to do is you need to frame your hypothesis based on your observations, and then construct a prototype, and then validate your hypothesis, whether it holds good or not, while drawing your conclusions in reality. Well, let me go to your assessment table, which talks about the weightage and response within the stipulated time period. So to exemplify one, say you consider paper one and you take your AASL. So 40% weightage would be given to your short and or long response, and the time allotted would be 90 minutes. So likewise, you can analyze the rest of it. Well, I would be suggesting some guidelines for you before you apply for your undergrad courses in the universities worldwide. And these are very uniform guidelines which you would be following. So the first is prepare your statement of purpose well in advance. Don't hurry worry. Second, get your LOR from the subject matter expert or your DP coordinator. Third one, a self-discovery is very, very important. Keep it in your everyday planner that you're going to jot down your strengths and your areas of improvement and collaborate it with your career path analyst. So this would jointly help you to track the right path. Last but not the least, which is the most important, tool to unwind in this gameplay, it is syncing your circadian rhythm clock, that is your sleep-wake cycle, with your study relaxation clock, right? So once they harmonize, you would yourself see that life is super easy for you and you can readily, accept challenges and just swim through those challenges. Well, coming to some of the FAQs, which are very, very common, I have seen. So what are some good math courses that can help me with my AI? What should I take if I want to do a major in data science, whether it is IB, Math, AI, or AA, and what would be the level, HL or SL? Then which particular math course and which level would be convenient for me to take up when I go for a major in economics, and so on. So guys, stay tuned for more answers on your FAQs. Bye bye and have a good day.